All right, and welcome to another episode of the Illinois Valley Community Broadcast. This is a show geographically based in the Illinois Valley, a local social media review for folks in the Illinois Valley watershed, Southern Oregon, in the Cascadia bioregion. I looked through some of the Facebook and Twitter posts in regards to Selma, Cape Junction, Grants Pass, Josephine County, Oregon, and sometimes Medford and Rogue River as well. So feel free to join us in the Illinois Valley Transition Telegram group, which link can be found in the description, as well as links to all the posts or groups that I'm sharing with you here today. And join the group, share what's concerning you, share what you're learning, what you're gardening, what you're planting. And yeah, let's start addressing Illinois Valley's needs together. So with that, I'll get started. I just want to say that you can get the Unstoppable Domains browser extension in order to view decentralized websites and begin learning about the decentralized web. You can find a link to Unstoppable Domains browser extension in the description of this video. So with that, let's start with Twitter. So one of the things I came across, found some useful information over the weekend and also some interesting ones. But I mean, this just kind of shows you the state of some of our centralized systems, and just is a great example of the contradictions that are abound in our society today. And I think this is okay. But this is a great one because, as you know, on sale, buns, 4 for $5. However, you are limited to 3 bread items per customer. Yes, that's centralization for you, folks. And these are, I've retweeted all these, so you can follow me on Twitter at LotusDog, and you'll get links to all these tweets. This was a great meme today that's good to, that I keep reminding myself of, but from American Indian 8, in the rush to return to normal, let's use this time to consider which parts of normal are worth rushing back to. So that's one of the reasons why I love going through some of these Facebook and Twitter posts and YouTube, and kind of sharing with folks across platforms what people are starting to consider are worthwhile. One of the things, of course, that we're seeing across the globe, and in particular in the Valley, is that folks are organizing food distribution on a local level in various places. And we are seeing reports of folks that are going to the stores, and stores are stocked, they're not empty. And so I just like to remind folks that it's always a good idea to have 3 months worth of food, or growing some food so that you can get 3 months worth of food. But there's no reason to get everything at once. Week by week or every couple weeks, you can just buy certain items, and this helps make sure that there's plenty of items for everybody. And this makes sure that people don't buy, you don't spend too much on the wrong thing. So lots of news in Facebook and on Twitter in regards to communities helping each other as part of the local food system. And of course, lots of people are, you know, have positive messages throughout Twitter and Facebook. Not everybody's a troll. And some people are even, you know, using this opportunity to set up their hammocks. So I thought that was great, right? We're getting a lot of pictures from folks that are actually out in nature. Of course, that's most of what's on the Oregon Twitter feeds anyways. But one of the things I learned while going through this is pears. So I've only been in this area for a couple years, and I am at the point where I am looking at, you know, what kind of fruits do well in this region. So I'm super excited to know that stone fruits, pears do well. Doesn't surprise me, but I'm more familiar with apples. So that's always my default kind of fruit that I'm going for or thinking about when it comes to trees. So if you get the opportunity this season, folks, it's a fair time to start planting fruit trees in your yard, you know. Also, several requests across the state for medical supplies and donations from various folks. So if you're in a position to do so, you know, or want to stay on top of that, then the local social media groups and hashtags are a great way to do that. What else? Let's see. Dog pictures. This is interesting. So, like the Oregon Humane Society has actually had to halt adoptions for pets. There are jobs being posted on Twitter and on the Facebook groups. A lot of these jobs are health-related jobs. And, you know, for those without any kind of medical or health training background, there are lots of resources online to kind of maybe begin getting familiar with that, because there's also, and I actually got a post linked to this, organizations looking for volunteers as well. So the other resource that I'll get to is the Alone Together hashtag. That's a good hashtag to find some resources and to connect with people locally. There's also several groups, in particular those that support folks with disabilities and senior citizens. And these groups in our communities are also looking for support, several of those. So if you're able to, you know, let's keep an eye out. If you know of some local organizations that you would like me to share, come join the Telegram group, share your information, and we'll get it onto YouTube together. Memes, of course. There's possible disinformation. As individual says that they have a count of 19 cases in the county, and I've only been able to find through the kind of data that comes in hourly 2 cases. However, I did ask, you know, if he's got some different resources that I might not have, so I can share it with folks. And chopping wood, right? I want to know how many people are out there using this time to chop wood. This is and spending time with their dogs. Come on into the Telegram group, tell us about it, because this is a great time to do that right now. Again, you can have donations to where you want to go, to various medical donations. Also exciting is that the testing capacity in Oregon should begin increasing. So we'll have a lot more data in Oregon as to actually how CV is spread through the community. So that's exciting. And Western Bluebird, look for it, folks. Share your pictures in the groups of the birds that are in your neck of the woods. What else? What else? Oh, this was probably the biggest news over the last yesterday. If you're listening to this and you do not live in Oregon, Washington, or a neighbor state, you may not know, but we have folks that work at the gas stations that pump our gas, and Oregon has temporarily allowed folks to pump their own gas, and which is really interesting because you would think that more people touching these gas handles that are steel would actually increase the spread of the virus. And so regardless of how you feel about whether or not you like getting your gas pumped, this is a very interesting thing that's gonna people are going to be all over the place on Twitter on it. Should be pretty hilarious. Hopefully people don't get increased cases this way. So be careful if you are pumping your own gas. Always looking for maps on Twitter. This this is a new awareness campaign in Portland. You may or may not be familiar with their slogan, "Keep Portland Weird." Again, folks with disabilities, elder folks in the community, there's discussions about what happens when a jurisdiction is under an emergency and they have to move into a phase where decisions are based on triage protocols. So we will start seeing how that affects other states. Of course, we know in some countries, folks at a certain age are just not given access to ventilators because it means that somebody that would likely recover would die, right? So lots of questions for our society to talk about. Yeah, and why are gas prices so high in Oregon? That's a very good question. Gas prices have, not that I'm encouraging folks to consume gas. However, that's a very interesting question. If anybody has the answer to that, please let us know. One of the kind of announcements is that Oregon DHS is having an online governor's commission on senior services from 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. on April 9th, and it is a virtual meeting only. You can follow the link and get to that. And let's see. Well, as I said, jobs for folks with medical backgrounds, possible education opportunities soon to develop for folks wanting to get trained in some type of medical field or nursing field. Of course, we know that states are having to compete on some type of market for supplies, and one of the responses in our community are the skunkworks folks who have been using 3D printers to create the equipment and materials that some of our medical facilities need actually locally as much as possible. So I actually got a post on that. So that's Twitter. Lots of talk about the gas pump. I did not use. I would encourage folks to use the Oregon lockdown hashtag, as I did not search that one today. But I imagine there's lots of great comments on there. With that, let's move into Twitter. And I just wanted to bring up, so this is one of the, or Facebook, not Twitter, Brad Converse. Make sure that you follow him if you see him in some of the Facebook groups, if you would like to stay informed. And of course, following is different from friends. You can follow somebody without actually friending them and, cluttering up their feed. And you can also see first his feeds as well. But yeah, do what you can with what you have, where you are. And this is what not just Brad, but nearly 100 makers around the community. I believe Brad he's actually got a business in Grants Pass. And so, he started this discussion, sounds like less than 7 days ago. And since then, nearly 100 makers around the community are cranking out 10 plus face shields a day each, which you could see in some of the earlier posts, which is amazing. Development of a reusable N95 mask is also in development, and will be injection molding those shortly as well. Teams of doctors are working with engineers on reliable solutions for the ventilator manifold and associated peripherals, and hundreds of people are sewing masks around the valley. Yes, and you can visit bit.ly/COVID skunkworks for more info. It's a Google Drive folder that's shared among folks that are creating a solution for this supply chain disruption. And I just want to point out that unlike the centralized solution that created the sale on 4 packages of buns for $5, however, not being able to buy more than 3, this is a decentralized, community-based solution that is quickly able to innovate and respond where centralized solutions are not. So I'd just like to point that out and recommend that folks follow Brad and stay informed of that information, and maybe reach out and see how you can help out. Boom, boom, boom. Let's just close these out real quick so it runs better. Also, in the Cave Junction and Illinois Valley, Oregon group, there's a pretty cool post of how and link to how Fender is offering 3 months of free guitar lessons so you can learn while on Oregon lockdown. And if you are learning guitar, please join the Telegram group. Drop some of your tunes in there and share it with us, right? So do that if you like learning guitar. In the Cave Junction and Illinois Valley group from Illinois Valley News, they have a post and some information if you would like to if you would like to help volunteer, go ahead and give them a call or email. Also, I'd like to mention the Illinois Valley Community Development Organization. They are compiling a great list of resources, actually have compiled a great list of resources on their Illinois Valley Web.org website. So I'd recommend folks to check that out. This is also a great place to start communicating about not just the CV, but the overall vision shaping our valley. So go check them out and their resources if you are in need. I'd also like to remind folks that today on the Cave Junction radio, kxcj.org, for internet users, today 3 to 5 p.m. Marcus Gad. So check that out. Check out the other programs. They have a really nice little calendar that shows their programs and upcoming programs. So looking forward to that. And if you need organic straw, check out the Cave Junction and the Illinois Valley Chat Scanner Sale and More Facebook group. Yeah, there you go. What else? In bioregional news, the Cascadian and Bioregionalism group posted a link to a great article on regeneration and honoring the places where you live. This is great because it uses pattern language and systemic thinking. So great article there to check out on Medium. Of course, you can follow me on Medium as well. One of the other really cool resources that I came across was this, and this is from Extinction Rebellion. It's called Alone Together TV, but essentially it is a community-made TV guide for folks that are interested in online workshops, video conferencing, and the cool thing is that they were able to shape this guide according to their values and provides some folks with a kind of structure and avenues for folks to learn together, share together, listen together, and come together and even take action together ultimately, right? So feel free to check that out. There are, lots of programs here. It's like lots of stuff scheduled for the future. So encourage folks to check out that hashtag if you like that. If you have an idea for any kind of community TV guide, that would be great. Bring it to Telegram. In All About the Valley in Southern Oregon, there was a nice post about the Casablanca food share. So Casablanca Coffee and Grill is putting this together. I believe, yeah, this is today from 3 to 5 p.m. if you're in that area. There are lots of local restaurants still open and still making food. Great food like the Painted Rooster. So check out some of your local restaurants if you have the means and you're out getting some of the supplies that you need a little yummy distraction, I guess. And now I'll just offer a couple quick YouTube videos that are don't really have much to do with the local news in Oregon. However, this is some information. I'm not really doing a coverage of the task force kind of updates that have been going on the last few days. Of course, we know that the government passed the CARES Act. It went through the House, and then it went through the president. However, if you would like to know, you know, a little peek into how our government created a bill where 66% of the bill goes directly to banks and primary dealers, and corporations, and only 4% goes to the working class, and you want a little humor with it, then check out this link. It's in the description. But do realize that we, again, bailed out all the banks. All the banks, all the fossil fuel companies, we've just bailed them out. We've just ensured their institutional power for the next crisis, essentially. So I totally recommend Chico Crypto. Another person that I highly recommend, especially if you would like whiteboards and you would like to learn about some of these new institutions that are being created by the Fed and the federal government, then George Gammon does a really good, he's doing a really good job of describing what's going on here and how this affects the money supply and liquidity of the markets and the debt of that's being created. This is a capitalist viewpoint, and so on topics outside of capitalism, there's often a little bit of ignorance. However, he does a very good job at explaining the capitalist elements of what we've been doing and how really what's going on is it's actually not capitalism and it's not socialism. But who is the Fed? What we don't have we don't have representative decision making authority of the Fed. We don't have direct participation in the Fed. We can't own anything that the Fed has. And so it's really important to understand who the Fed is, what they do, and what this alphabet soup is that's been created over the last 3 financial crises. So very good information there. And if you were looking for permaculture projects, farming, gardening projects to do in your yard, and you're wanting to know a little bit more about the relationships between all the different elements on your farm and in your soil, then I highly recommend Jeff Lawton Permaculture online YouTube channel. He's lots of great videos, questions and answers. He's had some amazing projects that they've been involved in across the globe. And of course, he has a great little playlist of how-tos as well. So highly recommend to folks that are wanting to, get right into their garden a little more, right? So don't forget, folks, that with the Brave browser, not only can you make it more private, but by having control over your privacy settings, you can actually earn crypto for seeing ads in very minimal ways compared to traditional kind of browser experience. So also, a week ago, I began testing pre-search and earning PRE tokens, you can see, just by using the search bar and the pre-search search engine. There are times when I'm looking for information that when I need the filters. So it is real easy for me to switch to a Google engine. I'll show you real quick. Yeah, so search with Google, switches over to Google, drop in the tools, and then I can search for, what's going on in the last 24 hours for something. So sometimes I do that. It's not really that difficult, but most of the time I'm starting my searches in the top of the browser using pre-search and earning tokens. And you might ask, well, how much is that token worth, right? So let's go over here and check it out. Now, the BAT token, okay, is and I need to log in here, but this would normally show you your balance in BAT. I have over 100 BAT in my wallet currently, and if we were to look at TradingView, which is a cool application where you can look at cryptocurrencies and stocks, indexes. But if we look at the BAT here in US dollar amounts, it is worth 13.5 cents per BAT. And you can see over, essentially its history, it's been around for just a little over a year, right? This is a very new, relatively new project. And you can see that, it's basically come back down to its lowest values, and it's held support. And over time, these swings will get less volatile, and they'll start moving upwards, right? The value of these tokens as they become more useful and valuable, as people start using the Brave browser, earning BAT, buying things with BAT, etc. So let's look at pre-search here. So this also seems like it's actually been around a little longer, another year longer. I've just heard about it. But this is what a lot of cryptocurrency charts look like. In the beginning, they kind of, as people like invest in the project or buy and accumulate the tokens, then that gives money to, the folks kind of developing the particular project, and the value comes down a little bit, but when good news comes and developments come, the price goes up. And again, we can see here that pre-search has come down to its like original values, and it's beginning to increase slightly, right? So that's good. And this is not even worth a penny. This is worth so much less than a penny right now. It's incredible. But over time, this adds up. And as the value of the dollar changes as different events, as it becomes more useful. Then the value of this token goes up. The value of, the use cases for what you can do with this token goes up. And you can stop working for Google. You can stop working for Facebook. You can stop working for Microsoft if you didn't know that you were working for them, and begin changing your internet behavior, learning about new ways of storing value and transfer value with your online behavior. And those are the kind of things you can learn by listening to these broadcasts and joining the Illinois Valley Transition Telegram group.